first time I crossed the Rip, I was amazed at the drop-off. We went from around 12 metres of water to over 90 metres deep in less than 30 seconds. I thought we'd crossed a shelf that was between the shallow water of the bay and the deep water of Bass Strait. I didn't notice that a minute later the depth came right up again to 12 metres as we came out into Bass Strait. What we'd crossed was not a drop-off, but a trench that was created during the last ice age 10,000 years ago as the Yarra River forged this entrance deep, as it's known. This amazing drawing shows the seafloor and highlights the ancient riverbed. What it shows is that the riverbed is between 60 and 90 metres deep as it snakes its way across the entrance. As you probably know, current always flows fastest where the water is deepest. This means that at the Rip, the current, rather than simply flowing in and out of the heads, follows this path of the ancient riverbed, snaking its way through, first one way and then the next. That's why as you cross you see all kinds of eddies swirling around, and the waves are not uniform but unpredictable. You can see from this drone footage, which is taken on a fairly calm day, that the water that you can just make out in front of the tanker is really disturbed, even though it's deep there. Well, that disturbance is caused by the current racing through the entrance deep, perpendicular to the channel in the direction of the ship. And since this current can run at 6 knots perpendicular to the channel, you can easily be swept off course. It also means that other traffic, like large ships, are swept first one way as they come in or go out, and then back the other as they traverse these two sections in which the current runs in different directions. It's not just the deep that makes the Rip challenging, but also the shallows. Looking at this chart, you'll see that Point Lonsdale side has rocks protruding for around 400 metres, some just below the surface, and then shallow water of 5 to 6 metres depth for another 600 metres, creating what's called the Rip Bank. On the Point Nepean side, we have exposed rocks out from the point, but then again submerged rocks that pose a real danger to shipping. Corsair Rock was named after the cutter that came to grief here in 1874. In this Google Earth image, you can just make out the waves breaking around the submerged Corsair Rock and see just how isolated it is, well out from the shore. So, how do we stay safe and avoid these many hazards? Well, fortunately for us, there is a system of navigational aids that separates traffic and helps us avoid the rocks. But with such a busy and complex waterway, it is a complex system. So we'll look at the channels and navigation aids of the heads next.